Is a quick video to talk you through week 6 task 2. So in this task we are talking about sequences. Now a sequence is a list of numbers or objects in a special order. The only difference between week 6 task 1 and week 6 task 2 is the fact that you will have to write the table before or in addition to all of the steps with task 1. So that's really the only difference. In example 1, the regular polygons below form a pattern. We have a triangle with a perimeter of 6 inches, a square with a perimeter of 12 inches, and a pentagon with a perimeter of 20 inches. Part A asks us to write an expression that could be used to determine the perimeter of the nth figure. So this is going to be a figure and a perimeter. In my figures, when they say nth figure, they're looking for the number of the figure. So the first figure has a perimeter of 6, the second figure has a perimeter of 12, and the third figure has a perimeter of 20. Remember, a sequence lists things in a special order. So the fact that they put the triangle first and not last makes a difference. Okay, so that's why you have to write them in this specific order. Now, before I know which thing to type into my calculator, I need to take a look at this table to identify if it's going to be linear, quadratic, or exponential. So when I follow these x values, they increase by 1 every time. When I follow the y's, 6 to 12 is an addition of 6, but 12 to 20 is an addition of 8. So because these are not increasing by the same amount every time, it's going to be quadratic. So I'm going to put these into my table in StatEdit, and then I'm going to run quadreg. So statcalc quad, and I get the expression. Remember, at the top it tells me ax squared plus bx plus c, and then a is 1, b is 3, and c is 2. Part B asks you for the perimeter of the 7th figure. So I'm going to type this in, but instead of using the letter X, I'm going to use the number 7. And I get that perimeter is 72 inches. Now keep in mind, if you have a graphing calculator at home and you want to use the y equals table function, you're more than welcome to do that. There's on all 3 of these examples, there are ways to do that, but I'm going under the assumption that not everybody has a calculator, so we're going to do things that are universally usable for every student, whether they have a calculator or not. So example 2, we have this given sequence where a1 equals 3, a5 equals 19, a to the n equals 163. So with these, we're going to have little numbers and big numbers. So my littles, I'm going to put for my x values, and the bigs I'm going to put for the y's. So when a1 is 3, then a5 is 19. Okay? Now with these, anytime you have little and big numbers for this task, any examples where there are little and big numbers, you are going to do linear functions. Now, whether you have a calculator at home or you're using the GraphingCalc app, you should be able to do a linear regression. You just can't do quadratic or exponential. So with these, I'm going to do stat calc option 4 and then calculate. And so I can see this linear is y equals ax plus b. A is 4, b is -1. Then from there, I can see they've asked me not just to write the function, but to identify my n, so identify x when y is 163. So again, you could plug this into your calculator in the y equals, or you can just simply plug in y for 163 and solve for x. To solve for x, I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and then divide both sides by 4. and I get 41. For example 3, Harold is starting a new workout program in which he will complete 4 more push-ups than the day before. If he starts with 5 push-ups on the first day, how many will he do on the 12th? So we're going to make a chart with days and push-ups. We know that he starts with 5 push-ups on the first day. So day 1, he has 5 push-ups. Now they don't tell us a number specifically for day 2, but they tell us that he will complete 4 more push-ups than the day before. So if we add 4 push-ups to the 5 he did the day before, then he would do 9. For day 3, he's going to do 4 more, so he would do 13. Now if you notice, my x's and my y's are increasing by the same amount every time. So this is also going to be a linear function. So I can do stat calc 4. It's ax plus b, so 4x plus 1. And then they've specifically asked for the 12th day. Remember, my days are my x values, so I'm going to plug in 12 for x, and I get 49 push-ups.